Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44. So I just saw a rumor, NBA rumor with the Los Angeles Lakers involved. I don't know how much validity it has, but just because the scenario seemed kind of interesting, I'd bring it to you anyway. So if this is not possible, or if this is a fake rumor, ignore it. But the point is, it's an interesting trade, to be honest with you. So what I see is the Lakers versus the Hornets. The Lakers and the Hornets are in this particular rumor. The players going back and forth would be the Lakers would have to relinquish the services of KCP, Montrezl Harrell, Alfonso McKinney, and a 2023 second round pick. And the Lakers would be taking back Bismack Biyombo, Malik Monk, and Terry Rozier, Scary Terry. No picks coming back to the Lakers. I'm not going to really overreact and say that what the heck, or oh my god, we have to do this. I think I'm somewhere in this space where, and this is why I'm making this video, because I actually don't think that's that bad of a trade, to be honest with you guys. However, I'm not quick to let go of Trez at all, and I would rather not trade KCP in that deal. And the reason why is because we're not bringing back enough defense. Bismack Biyombo is a fantastic rim protector, a better rim protector than Trez, and Bismack Biyombo has a lot of energy. He can help your team. But at the end of the day, he's not an overly talented player. He's a little long in the tooth, and though he fits a need, you can certainly see a scenario where 6 months down the road, you have absolutely no problem wanting to trade him and having issues with getting takers. He's that kind of player. He's not going to fit in every system. He's not an offensive-minded player. He's kind of just a guy out there. Now, I do know that the Charlotte Hornets were interested in signing Trez, and Trez reportedly decided to go with the Lakers for much less money, so they still want him. Given that the LaMelo injury just took place, I don't know if this rumor was true, if this rumor still stands afterwards now that injury has occurred. I don't see trading Terry Rozier as the smartest move for the Charlotte Hornets right now. That leaves them with one official point guard after that trade, and I just don't know that makes them necessarily better. However, Malik Monk is just the type of scorer that I would love to have on this team right now. He's no good defensively, and he's not really a potent offensive threat consistently just yet, but his mechanics are simply phenomenal. He just doesn't have the basketball IQ yet, and he just doesn't have the motor yet to make it all make sense. But he can roll out of bed and just do it a phenomenal three-point shot move, or just he has great mechanics. It's the best way I know how to describe Malik Monk. If it all comes together up here, he can be a 30-point scorer. And I don't question that, even though he's struggled to start his career. He's struggled the whole time, and he's always struggled. And this has been the first year where we've seen signs of life. And I think the reason why you're seeing signs of life is because of the presence of LaMelo Ball. I don't know how well he plays without a facilitator at this stage in his career, but he's capable of scoring right away, and he's still extremely young. And as I said, I can't stress this enough. Dude just has mechanics. Like, some people are really, really talented basketball players. Other people are just like weapons. Their bodies are meant to shoot the basketball. He's one of those people. So if he ever learns the game, like really learns the basketball the way he should, I don't see why he can't do great things. I mean, he's at least a J.R. Smith type of scorer, at least. You know what I mean? But he's just a slow burner. He hasn't gotten a lot of run. He's been in a bad organization. He hasn't had a real point guard looking for him. It's a lot of stuff that hasn't worked in Malik Monk's favor. But it's never going to be a question of whether or not he's capable of putting points on the board. That's not going to be a question here. So I would like to have him. I think it's a good time to get him. Basically looking at it as buying low, expectations low, but 2, 3, 4 years down the road, he could be as good as an all-star, honestly. Malik Monk has that type of ability. And Scary Terry's an all-star who hasn't made an all-star team. If you know anything about Terry Rozier, you've heard me talk about Terry Rozier. My faith in Terry Rozier is super high. He's a score-first point guard with clutch ability. He can drop 40 on you. He has no problem passing. Even though he's past second, he's not selfish. He's not going to make the ball stick. and he's feisty. He's feisty. We all know the stories with Scary Terry with the Celtics, how he was getting it out the mud basically, even though he wasn't getting minutes. Anytime somebody go down, he come in, play like an all-star, and then sit back down and wait his turn. He finally got to Charlotte and then has to play with Melo, but he still managed to outshine Melo to start the season, and with his starting minutes, made himself something close to an all-star. So at this point in time, it's a great time to have him. He's a difference maker for a playoff team. If he's on the block and he does find himself in the right place, he could sway things for whatever playoff situation, whatever conference you're in, if he goes to the right place. So I would love to have him here. I'm excited about the prospect of acquiring him. He is why I would pull the trigger on a deal like that if I decided to. That's, like I said, I'm not interested in giving up Trez at all. Not in love with giving up KCP in this deal. But Alfonso McKinney, I'm happy with letting go of. Second-round picks, I mean, you don't acquire second-round picks for anything other than trading them, to be completely honest with you. If you happen to find a gem in the second round, great. But the majority of the time, you want a second-round pick so you can couple it with somebody that ain't really that great of a player and getting somebody who is. That's what second-round picks are for, to be honest. So I'm up for that type of move. I really am. Now, I know that we have to give up something to get something, so you're essentially trading Trez for Scary Terry. And while you're bringing back rim protection because that's what you need, what you're also bringing back is somebody who can keep up the scoring issues, the scoring load rather, coupled with the guys that we already have while Bron and AD are out. Bringing Scary Terry, you got a legitimate star to go along with the Kuzmas, to go along with THT, but you do lose KCP and Trez, and that's a lot of points you're giving up. And Malik Monk does run cold. So at the end of the day, you only do this deal, in my opinion, if you're in love with Scary Terry. That's what it comes down to for me. Malik Monk is a question mark. You know, he's been labeled a bust all the way up until this season. He's shown signs of life, great mechanics, but we've seen guys with great mechanics not turn into nothing sometimes. It just happens like that. He needs a point guard to get him going, and without LeBron James on the floor, I don't know that we have that, to be honest with you, so I don't know that we get the most out of Malik Monk anyway until Bron gets back. But when Bron gets back, boy, is that a fantastic weapon to have. So these are moves that help us both short-term and long-term, especially since in letting go of Trez, we get rid of the short center syndrome that we have, which is a guy that does a lot of stuff for us that we love but does not rim protect. That makes it a little more difficult for us to kind of go up against certain people, which is why I thought it was so important that we re-signed Damian Jones, even though the Lakers have not chosen to do that. I think that his presence down there as a rim protector made us a better team. So Bismack Biyombo will do those things for us if we get him. So it's not like we're leaving ourselves tiny if we let go of Trez. Do I love the move? No. Based on giving up KCP in the deal. I just think KCP's an NBA champion at this stage in his career, and you're essentially trading him for Malik Monk, and I don't love that trade. If we remove KCP from that deal, I'm happy. But unfortunately, I don't think you can get that deal done because of the value of a guy like Scary Terry. So you'd have to throw him in there. So there's that. The trade deadline is 3 days away. If you ask me if I think this deal gets done, I say no. I don't think the Lakers are going to do this. But I would be very excited to have Terry Rozier on this team. That's what I will say to all of you. I think we get better if we get Scary Terry. But we lose some things defensively with KCP. See, that's the thing. It's all about the trade that you make. I think we get better in terms of potent scoring when Bron and AD get back. You got like a big three with Scary Terry, a legitimate one, because that dude is a monster. But you lose some of your interior talent without Trez. You lose some of your clutch mechanical shooting without KCP, because KCP is essentially a better defensive, more developed, more athletic Malik Monk. So you got to tweak that deal a little bit if you want me to be excited about it. But we can definitely keep Alfonso McKinney, that 2020-23 second round pick. I think the beginning framework of the deal, we can get somewhere with that. Trez, I mean, lateral move. Let's put it like this. If we were to trade Trez for Scary Terry, it's just an even deal for me. I look at those players as the exact same tier. just different positions. They pretty much do the same things. The same numbers you're going to get from Scary Terry are the same numbers you're going to get from Trez, just in different areas. Trez will give you the rebounds, Scary will give you the assists, but the points will be the same. They score in different ways, but they're still going to score 25. So it's like, for me, I just think it's a lateral move when you do it like that. But not completely against it, because that's how much faith I have in Terry Rozier, just being a potent scorer that's going to play off of Bron, who's going to be able to fit in any type of system, who will be able to play off the bench if necessary, because he's used to that, even though I'm sure he would not like to. For a championship caliber team, I'm pretty certain he wouldn't mind continuing to do that process if he had to. And there's another aspect of this that I'm kind of excited about. Terry Rozier is a Celtic. To his core, that's a lifer. If we can get him in purple and gold, we can take another one from them, maybe win a championship with another Celtic caliber player like we did with Rondo. That would make me happy, just as a Laker fan. So that's an aspect for me personally. But anyway, so that's what I got to say, man. I just wanted to throw that rumor out there. And, I think the Lakers are going to be active somehow, probably more so in the buyout market than in the trade market. But I still think we're going to have some new players on this team in a couple weeks that are going to be impactful and to change our team, just like we did last season. Rob Pelinka, I trust you. You've shown me enough. I know you made some mistakes with this roster, getting Wesley Matthews and Marc Gasol. I expect you to get back to your winning ways, get back to the drawing board, and get some helpful talent in here. I have all the faith in the world. I know he's going to do that. So yeah, that's what I got to say, man. I don't want to get off of this video without, again, sending rest in peace to Elgin Baylor. I made a short video about that, but we lost Elgin today, so it would be disrespectful for me to make a Laker video and not mention his name. So he will be sorely missed, and I send condolences to the entire family there, the Baylor family. So thank you guys for watching. My name is BDF44, and I'm out.